Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here. Now currently I am past Steedoj, so future Steedoj is going to read out the shouted comment for you right now. So future Steedoj, please do that. The first shouted out comment is by Teen Gohan Ultra Instinct. He said Steed uploads video, me go get the first maybe to show up to this vid. Doesn't show up there, it isn't over yet. That's the spirit, Teen Gohan. And I hope you guys leave comments down below because I will feature them. Back to past Steedoj. Okay, he's done. Everything's done? Okay, good. Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here, but me, I come later. If you want to know more about me, please do subscribe to the channel, and like what you see if you think you'll enjoy it. But right now, I just wanted to talk about all the secrets of Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. Some people might just say, oh great, it's the quote-unquote worst character of the DLC. I'll have you know that Evolution Vegeta is, well, he's a really fun character, for one, and two, he's actually very well done. Now, if you want to say that his combos are lazy because they just look like the regular Vegeta's combos, don't forget that this isn't a different person. This isn't between Frieza and, like, Majin Buu. This is still Vegeta and Vegeta. So it makes sense that he would still use very similar punches. I mean, his combos aren't the same, completely, for one. His full X combo, as you can see here, while you do see very similar punches and animations, obviously the entire style of the combo is different. It's not the same way as it looks on regular Vegeta, or Blue Vegeta, or even God Vegeta. The same thing of his heavy combo, it just is not the same. Like, you will see the similar kick that used to come from the end of his YXY, but that's no longer the case. His 5Xs into his Y combo is also probably my favorite combo to use of him. I think it looks the best in all of his combos. I mean, when was the last time, like, come on. They actually remembered that Vegeta shoots Ki Blast. Like, Vegeta's obsessed with spamming Ki Blast. And they actually integrated it into his combos. Like, that's sick. I'm not a Vegeta fan, but I think that's awesome. And I think Vegeta fans would appreciate that the most, to be honest. And of course, his YXY is his best one, because it's super quick and it does a ton of damage, as you can see. I imagine that the last two hits would be unvanishable online, because most dash follow-up attacks are usually unvanishable online. So, yeah. Combos aside, because of course I don't need to explain or justify myself when it comes to Vegeta's combos, we'll start with his first super attack being Final Flash. Final Flash is a super nut. Well, yeah, of course. Final Flash is a super. It's a 2-key bar super. Now, of course, it's like the ultimate version. I would say it's exactly like the ultimate version. The only thing they did was lower its damage, because it keeps consistent damage from range. For reference, Kamehameha super attacks do not keep consistent damage from range. Their damage gets less at range. But this Final Flash actually will still do the same 24 hits to 20 hits every single time from range. You'd have to be like reaching outside lock-on range for it to do way less damage. And you know, the second you go past that, it's like, yeah, everything's gonna do less damage, obviously, because you shouldn't be able to hit the person from that far away. Now, obviously, because of the speed of his Final Flash and the fact it only takes 2 bars of ki, you can easily do it at the end of like the majority of his combos for a nice entire health bar, which is, you know, very dangerous, obviously. Now, it is a lot harder to do in knockdowns, obviously, because, you know, he doesn't have a hard knockdown, per se. I'd say the best thing he has to a hard knockdown is if you sacrifice the last hit of this combo to do Final Flash. So just don't use the Beam Blast follow-up, because the Beam Blast follow-up is very hard to combo into. In fact, there's only one thing I know that combos into it that this guy can do, so we won't talk about that for yet. But in general, Final Flash is a super good move. You can kind of do it whenever, although it does take a while to fire. Still strong, just takes a while to fire, that's all. His second move, Strike Super, of course, because every character needs at least one strike move, is Final Blow. Now, his Final Blow is a bit different. You'll notice that it's just instantaneous. He won't, like, fly over to the enemy like he does with the Blue Vegeta's Final Blow. This one will just teleport, regardless of where the enemy is. A better example is that you can just lock off the person and then just use the move for a jump scare, because no one's going to see that coming. They're going to be like, oh, he locked off me. That means he's trying to run away or break his guard or something. And then they'll see you just disappear and whoop! And now whoop! So it's like, you know, not much they can do about that. Hopefully it's the same tactic we use to breach into Area 51, otherwise we're just completely screwed. But aside from that, his Final Blow isn't just a fancy way to hit someone. You can actually combo from it. Look at that. That's just tasty. That's just tasty. It's a nice way to get a combo going if you can actually, you know, hit someone with it. So if you do actually manage to hit anyone with this move, that's a nice combo you've got going for yourself. That's just good as hell. Like, duh, obviously. Another thing about his Final Blow I think is super cool. Not only that you can use it lock off and the fact that it combos into itself, you can actually use it at the end of combos. That is some Subarashi stuff. I would have said Subarashit, but that's We don't swear on this channel. Actually, I'm just joking, we do. Now, that's all I have to cover with Final Blow, because, of course, it's pretty predictable where you would use this. It's, you know, like a combo ender move. At the end of any combo you can get, you just knock someone back and whoop, you just go in. Now, you cannot stamina break from Final Blow, and I have to say, if you use it in a combo, the person will go flying back all the time. At least if you use it in a knockback combo. The game will notice that, and it's like, hey, I don't do infinites anymore. You know, Xenoverse is trying to escape the infinite cycle, so of course, your enemy will get knocked back instead of being stuck in place, as when you do it in a standstill. So, of course, after that, his next super is Atomic Blast. Now, you guys know the regular Atomic Blast. You have the level 1 Atomic Blast, which is supremely short-ranged. Does the least amount of damage, but still a good move. Then you have the fully charged Atomic Blast, which is bang. It's just an absolute shotgun. Like, of course, far less range than even the first one. Just, nah, it doesn't even go anywhere. Then you have the perfect Atomic Blast, where if you wait for the first flash, or I would say in this Vegeta's case, let go a little bit before the camera changes angles, and you should have the perfect Atomic Blast. As you can see, that does nearly half a health bar. Now, you could say, oh, well, that's less than Final Flash, so why am I ever going to use this move? Well, again, it only uses 1 bar of ki. And, before we talk about how good its combo usability is, because obviously, that, I mean, this is amazing. You can just kind of shoot that out in the middle of a combo. Because it's fast enough. It's that quick. Not only does it have all that for going for it, it's like Big Bang Attack. The entire first part of it, and this does not apply for CSCs, it's just Blue Vegeta unique. The entire first part of it is just a Big Bang Attack. So if you charge it to move up to the max, obviously, you'll hit someone with the entire, you know, charging sequence, and then the final blast at the end. But if you get the perfect Atomic Blast from point blank range, oof, you can really hurt people. I would recommend always going for the perfect Atomic Blast. 1, because it does the most damage, and 2, it just looks the coolest. I mean, like, that's just an epic beam. Now, obviously, just like every other Atomic Blast, and by every other, I mean, like, the only other one that's in the game, it will do more damage if you're on the ground. As you can see, I'm now doing 5,000 damage, almost reaching 6,000, whereas in the air, I would just do, like, 4,000. Going back on the ground for reference, because I don't even know if I can hit it from this angle. But yeah, it does way more damage on the ground than it does in the air. So obviously, if you can, I would suggest maybe putting your enemy in a knockdown state anytime you can, whether you can hard stamina break them or knock down them, and then just go crazy with the Atomic Blast. Point blank, right up to him, fully charged Atomic Blast. You'll get all your bang for your buck, and like damn, it's just good, okay? Now the reason why this is semi-hard to do is because Blue Vegeta is like kind of short. Anytime you need to attack someone who's taller than you, he'll immediately get off the ground. Like, you can see all I did was move forward, and now he's off the ground. And Jiren in this game is way shorter than he's supposed to be, as a reference. So, it's kind of hard to do because you'll immediately just be in the air, and it'll no longer count as ground damage. And that's just a little bit annoying. So, don't move too close to someone, because then he'll try and fly up to level up to them. Now, you could say Final Charge is just going to be a bit boring because it has the same charging animation. But Final Charge is obviously the opposite to God Vegeta's Burst Charge. It will start off pretty slow and then get ridiculously quick as it goes on. Bear witness. So it's like the Blue Evolution version of Ultra Instinct's Surging Spirit. And to be honest, I like it like this more because Evolution is closer to Ultra Instinct than it would be to any other Super Saiyan form. And he's supposed to rival Ultra Instinct Goku. It's both their respective final forms that are unique to them until Vegeta decides to get Ultra Instinct in Dragon Ball Super 2 or whenever. But yeah, Final Charge is like that. It charges up pretty slow at the start and then very fast at the end. This doesn't have too much use in PvE and PvP because, you know, you wouldn't be able to charge that long. And in PvP, if you're playing on a custom character, this move will be called Ultimate Charge instead. But if you're doing Parallel Quest, this is obviously really, really good because you get your ki really fast. So yeah. Moving on to his next move, which is ironically his evasive. Now, you wouldn't think there'd be much reason to show off his evasive, but I'm sure you've noticed it's Flash Strike. It does exactly that and more because you will teleport. This can be done wherever you are moving, wherever you're standing still. Vegeta will just teleport, and he will use the move Flash Strike. Now, obviously, because Flash Strike is an attack, it will do damage. And you guys might say, hey, but that damage is pretty low. Don't forget, this is still Flash Strike. So all you have to do is a tiny ETBT combo and use it at the end if you want to, and bang, 3,000 damage. Now, of course, it doesn't make sense to sacrifice the 2 bars of stamina it takes. because, you know, you could just use Final Flash instead. But let's say on the off chance that you have no key, or just anything is going wrong for you, or maybe your enemy's hitting you, and you're like, hey, I could get out of this for free. Let me just, you know, Flash Strike out of his damage real quick. That's always an opportunity given to you by the game. Let's say your enemy's hitting you with something like Meteor Crash, and you're like, I don't really want to be in this move anymore. Because it takes the same amount of stamina as it would to Vanish. So technically now you just have an upgrade to your Vanish that will do damage. And most people in this game still believe back hitting is useful, so you can just do that. Anytime your enemy tries to back at you, he'll just be locked into the Flash Strike. Now obviously not much combos into Blue Vegeta's Ki Blast Rain combo, but happens to be that Flash Strike is his fastest acting super, so whenever you're ending that combo, you just do it. Because that is his fastest super attack. If for some reason that you cannot land a super attack faster, then I would just say use Flash Strike. It's quicker than Final Flash, it's faster than Atomic Blast, it's faster than Final Blow, and it's faster than both of his ultimates. So if you ever have an opportunity to in a combo, or if you just need the damage, if you really need the damage but nothing else is fast enough, then that 2 bars of stamina is more than worth it, because it will get anywhere you need to ASAP, because it's just so damn quick. Anytime you can use this move, it's just like, yeah, just do it. Now, I think we'll go over Vegeta's stamina breaks a little bit, because it's kind of important to landing some of his ultimates. Now, he has a very easy one to do at the end of his X combo. It's the final hit of his X combo, so it's very hard to mess it up. He can only light stamina break from this. If you try to heavy stamina break from this, the game will spit in your eye and reward you with the enemy recovering faster than you do. And by reward you, I mean punish you, because you shouldn't try that. You should never try that. It will not work. He has another one in his Y combo. It's the second to last hit of his Y combo. You can easily get another one off here. Again, it's a light stamina break one. His heavy stamina breaks are a lot harder to do. In all honesty, I haven't found a way to use his heavy stamina break yet. Even in the same combo string, it's just too damn slow. His heavy stamina break is way slower than that of the regular Vegetas, to my knowledge, because you can't even do this as a stamina break. Like, people always recover way faster. So you cannot universally break people the way the other Vegetas did. I don't know why his is slower. It just is. And that's something you're just going to have to deal with, because I can't figure out either. Now, one obvious one I was thinking would just be that you use this combo, except this time you just, you know, vanish up there yourself. And that makes sense, but you have to be in a corner of the map, otherwise it just won't work. Vegeta will instead just, you know, yeah, just miss. So you have to be on the corner of the map, or at the very top of the map, otherwise the game will not register it. That is the only way to get a confirmed heavy stamina break with him, to my knowledge, which is fine, because if you're not playing on a tour map like the Tournament of Power, it could be kind of easy to do. But if you are playing on a tour map, RIP and peace, that's all I can say. Now we'll go to his first ultimate, and I'm going to say Final Explosion is his first, because it's the one that was in the game sooner. Now Final Explosion, if you guys didn't know what that move was, it's the move where Vegeta blows himself up and does a ton of damage, and you can hold it down to drain more stamina for damage. Now, the difference of his Final Explosion is that 1, it just does more damage by base. 2, it takes longer for the stamina to drain on his Final Explosion. And 3, he doesn't fall down, so you can immediately break your stamina once you're done with the move. He will not fall down until he'll hold his arm and say, "I'm not dead yet!" And then you can break your stamina instantly. If you didn't know, Margin Vegeta or any custom character before after you use Final Explosion would fall to the ground with the little amount of stamina they have remaining, and then you could just murder them. So with this Vegeta, you at least have a get out of jail free card, and again, his Final Explosion damage is way more, so he's got that going for him. Not too much different is with the move, obviously, because it is Final Explosion. Again, if you wanted to land this in a stamina break, I'd recommend doing the same combo I said before, and then doing a heavy stamina break. Because Final Explosion and the light stamina break is not very easy to do, at all. You'd have to be very lucky to land this in an easy stamina break. One way I would recommend you being able to land it in an easy stamina break would be something akin to this.
You're not going to survive this! I'm not dead yet!
That's the best way I can recommend landing it in a short stamina break, or a not heavy stamina break, or whatever we call it in this game. There is, of course, other knockdowns he has available to him. And the other one I would suggest would be the X into the Y combo. And I would say that you should pick that one first, because that's a hard knockdown, so it will guarantee that the enemy is on the ground for much longer. But the problem with that knockdown is that it just takes longer to do in general, so you'll have less time to actually explode, if that makes any sense. And also, he teleports very high when he does it, so when you do vanish down, you might not be towards the ground. In fact, you might be way off course. I'm not saying I was this time, but I've had times where I've been way off course because I'm way high up and the enemy will fall to the ground and not around me, so it just doesn't really work out. But of course, every single time you do this, you can break your own guard and be free to just ravage his ass again. Now, his second ultimate, and his unique ultimate, and his new ultimate of the DLC, is Final Galick Rush. Now, obviously, I don't know if this is a Strike or a Ki Blast ultimate. I would say it's one of those weird hybrid ones like Impulse Slash, where it does both damage types, but it's categorized as a Strike, because majority of the move is a Strike. But this ultimate is a small attack rush, followed by a super back jump, I'm not joking, and then super Galick Gun. Not very visually impressive, and doesn't do too much damage. In fact, you'd be better off just, doing any of the combos I said earlier, because they do way more damage and probably take the same amount of time, and don't use 3 bars of Ki. So it's like, why would you ever use Final Galick Rush? Steedoj, why would I ever use Final Galick Rush on Blue Evolution Vegeta? You might use it just solely for the fact that the move is a long-ranged ultimate, and it combos very easily with itself. Now, of course, I didn't land it there. I don't think that's the appropriate combo for it. It is a long-range ultimate that you can use whenever you feel like it. I say whenever you feel like it. Some combos more than others, because when I try to do this combo offline, naturally it doesn't work. Like, this combo offline just will not work with Final Galick Rush. But when I did it online, or at least when my brother did it to me online, and we live in the same house, so the connection is just about a few microseconds apart maybe, it works all the time in online battles, because again, when you're playing against someone who's in the same house, they cannot recover against this. A good example is if you can, of course, you do a short stamina break to someone. Again, if you can, you do a short stamina break. Hit him with that, and then just go straight with the meaty YXY, or the heavy, light heavy, whatever you want to call it. And then follow up with a Final Galick Rush, obviously. Because that's the only way you would be able to land it. Now, as a reference to how good Final Galick Rush is as an unvanishable, or just something you should use whenever, Prolefsi is going to fly away from me as Jiren. And the move will just chase him, even from side to side. That's how good its tracking is. Like, it will just seek people out, regardless of which direction they're moving. Almost like Destructo Disc, I would say. A lot of people are comparing it to Death Slicer, but it doesn't come back, so that doesn't make much sense. I'd say Destructo Disc is a better comparison, because it does still seek the person out, though. Yeah, okay, so as Prolefsi said, to be added, yeah, the move is pretty hard to counteract against, because if someone evasives out of it, then you will not use the Galick Gun. It has a very quick recovery on fail. And if you use an evasive like Super Explosive Wave, for example, you wouldn't do much because Vegeta still has Super Armor, and you would just still be in the attack. It's almost like when you're still in the middle of Power Rush, for example. You're just kind of screwed. Now, another example as to how good this move is, I think it has an insane amount of priority, because compared to Power Rush that me and Prolefsi will test on Go, it just, you'll see. 3, 2, 1, go. It completely destroys most other attacks. And Power Rush was the move that was famous for going through every other move. So you can imagine how strong this one is if it goes through Power Rush. Like, pretty absurd, I would say. Now, there's obviously not much that can stop Final Galick Rush once you can see how damn fast someone can move with it. I would say another thing I should have showed off with Vegeta earlier is that his Atomic Blast, just like Big Bang Attack, will actually block projectiles. So Prolefsi could use a full power impact, and then I could block it with just the charge sequence of that. His moves are really good. Another good example is that if you're if you use Flash Strike, you have Super Armor. So even if your enemy predicts what you're going to do, there's no way in heaven that they could punish you, because you have Super Armor and Invincibility while you are using Flash Strike. So there's not much they can really do about it, in case if they do actually catch up to you or they manage to read your next input. This is why I've been saying this guy is the best character in this DLC, because he just has a lot going for him. He's got a lot of advantages and barely any weaknesses. If you want to count the lack of a heavy stamina break as a weakness, that's fine. But a lot of characters in this game struggle with a heavy stamina break, and I would still say that they're pretty good. So he doesn't really need one, because you can still light stamina break into a hard knockdown and then Final Explosion, on the off chance that you need to use Final Explosion so bad. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, please make sure to leave a comment down below as to what you think of the video, or just anything else that you would like to see. because obviously I haven't even covered God Vegeta yet, which is quite sad, because I'm sure a lot of people actually want to see God Vegeta. But it's just me being a bit of a prick. So again, let me know what you'd like to see. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed what you saw. Subscribe if you want to support the channel. I would appreciate it a ton if you could do that. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Peace.